Hey there everyone, welcome back to another Dead Cells video. Today we are going to be doing a post-commentary run. After doing that last video, I kind of remembered why I moved to post-commentary. One, I think I enjoy it a little more, but two, I think I just, I'm able to explain my thought process behind stuff better when it's all edited down and whatnot, and also I think the video quality is just a little higher, so I'm probably going to be sticking to some more post-commentary. Unfortunately, my audio for the planned Azumarill Fairy video collaboration type thing didn't quite pan out quite as much as I would want it to. I'm going to keep looking to try and fix it, but we might have to reschedule another video with them at some point, maybe, if they're, you know, obviously not too busy. But today we have a pretty fun run. We are going to be focusing on a Boy's Axe plus Ice Shards, and this is kind of like one of my favorite survival builds at the moment to run. I can just, anytime I'm, you know, needing to turn a survival build around, I can just swap into this and it's super easy. So we're just gonna hop right into the run now, kind of start explaining stuff. So let's just jump right into the run right now. And you're gonna see I'm starting off in Prisoner Quarters. I get a Boy's Axe plus a Rapier, and this is a fine build to start with. I have, you know, double turret set up. I have plenty of damage, so I'm not too worried. The first thing I'm gonna really be looking for is honestly an Ice Shards. If I have a Boy's Axe, I'm not gonna force it. There are plenty of other weapons. The new Death Scythe is a great weapon to pair with Boy's Axe, but really, Boy's Axe works with pretty much anything. Same with Ice Shards on the inverse. In survival, where you just put it in your left trigger slot for myself, or whatever you feel comfy on, and just sort of spam it with whatever you need to. So going a little bit deeper, this is Prisoner Quarters, so not, you know, too much interesting footage to show here. But the Boy's Axe, you're sort of just using it to stun the enemies and get that root extra damage on them, and follow up with your main weapon. You can do the same thing with your Ice Shards if that's your offhand, but you can also do it in other modes, like with Firebrands and Tactics or Brutality, or Throwing Knives. Just have that as your offhand item. I like to have it on left trigger, like I said, but you can have it on whatever you want. Arboretum didn't go super great for me. It was kind of a rough map, but so there wasn't like a lot of great footage to show. I probably should have healed, honestly. I sometimes get a little too greedy not to. Don't worry about that. Failed 4-pound 3 times in a row. But yeah, I sometimes get a little too greedy not to heal, and I definitely recommend using your health pots because they're there for a reason. But I do get, you know, a big portion of what the build will be, which is Ice Shards, Boy's Axe, and then some sort of strong offhand weapon. In this case, it's this sickles, which are just very high damage. And I went for gastronomy. This is gonna let me get those big heals, and it'll let me carry over damage into the next biome early on. That's the big strength of gastronomy in survival, is that it lets you carry over a big damage boost into the next biome, so you're able to kill the enemies early on while you still don't have the stats from the scrolls. And as long as you play, you know, a little fast, you're pretty set. Like I said, not a lot happened in Arboretum, so we start to go a little deeper into the run. I've healed up a bit, and I am pretty much set. I get kill rhythm, and this is really where the build is going to start to come into its own. I also picked up Ice Armor. Ice Armor is just going to give me a ton of survivability and sustain, and it's just going to make it way easier to make it through scary situations, like a curse, for example. There's a challenge rift up here that I end up grabbing, and I end up getting that a little bit later. But yeah, this is kind of the main setup of the build, is you get your Ice Armor, and then you're just like your one main skill. Later on, we'll grab Heart of Ice to where we can constantly cycle out our skill and our Ice Armor. But yeah, I hit up that challenge rift, and it's pretty easy. Nothing too much else to show here. I start to just run through the enemies, take advantage of that kill rhythm, and one thing that is super important for this build, watch me floating above that slasher there, one thing that is super important for this build, if you do want to have this like heavy spam style, is to go into your settings and turn on hold to attack. That'll let you just hold down whatever button you have that is comfortable for you. In my case, like I said, I use left trigger. So the entire time when I'm in a battle, I'll just be holding down left trigger. That way I can focus on my other buttons and not really have to worry about it. I do end up seeing, I believe that is a legendary punishment. I put in the backpack, but I don't think I end up doing anything with it really. I'm just like, yeah, whatever, kind of fun. And other than that, we're starting to really come into our own on the build. Just, clearing up some elites, clearing up some enemies. Nothing too scary, really. Once you get the, I'd say, like, once you're past the second biome, if you have the ice shards and the boys axe, you're pretty set for a while. I do think routing is kind of important on this map, or on this type of build, and that you want to go towards probably the Morass, which is where I end up going, but you can make it work on other maps. I just think maps like Morass are a little better. Same with Ancient Sewers, where on Ossuary and Ramparts, it can be a little tough with those giant long hallways, because you're kind of just relying on the range of the boys axe, and you really want these like enclosed corridors for the ice shards to really pop off. Another thing you're going to want to try and get with a build like this is some form of oil spread on either your axe or whatever your other skill is. Yeah, ideally you want it on your axe, that way your ice shards are just getting that extra damage. I did get Heart of Ice, like I said, and I'm just going to sort of start going through the Morass, start clearing out these giant rooms full of enemies. Weaker enemies like this are kind of where Boys Axe and Ice Shards shine, because it doesn't take a lot to kill them, and they're fast enough to close the distance on it, especially with the root and the slow. Down the line, though, not really like a lot you need to worry about. I'd say if you don't want to take advantage of Heart of Ice, another option is Soldier Resistance. It's a very common one I'll run in place of Heart of Ice, because if you don't have great skills, like honestly, in this build I have right here, the sickles don't really matter, same with Ice Armor, so you could run like Soldier Resistance as well. Going to the Mamatic, very easy fight. Just spam ability at her with Ice Shards and Boys Axe. That's pretty easy. I believe I do get tagged by one of the spikes here, and I'm a little annoyed when I get hit by it. Because I thought I got the roll off in time, but it's fine. Like I said, not too hard of a boss fight. Just kind of jam your controller or your keyboard, and she'll die quick. Yeah, that was the one where I got hit. I was a little annoyed by it, but it's fine. I do have 2 gastronomy boosts as well, which just shreds her HP. I kind of rolled out of that area before the spikes were done because I was annoyed about that hit. But yeah, like I said, Mamatic, pretty easy. Goes down very quick, and nothing too much to it, really. Pick up the gear, and we go into Graveyard, which is, honestly, it is a comfort map for me, but especially with a build like this, just a bunch of low HP and medium HP enemies that you just spam projectiles at. Great for, honestly, any build, and it's one of my favorite maps, partially because it's kind of easy for me. I do end up taking that one. I think that had one less green than what I had before, but it had an extra jump, which is why I took it, because having that third jump is really important to me, so it wasn't that big of a deal that I was lowering my scroll count. Other than that, though, Graveyard, you sort of just, you're seeing it here. You can just run through the enemies super, super quick, and they're really not much of a challenge at all. But Graveyard, pretty easy. Only scary part really is the curse, and some of the elite enemies can be a little scary on this map, but honestly, it's not that bad. So we go a little deeper in. I use my ice shards to kind of scout whatever is down there, just because I knew there was fog, and I didn't have my ice armor up, which I'm not afraid to go in without the ice armor. You see me doing it here, but I was like, I'll give the ice armor a couple seconds so it's a little closer, in case I get caught in a bad situation I need to run. After that, I go to get a Boys Axe, but there is a Mimic, because of course there is. That said, had the ice armor, had all my cooldowns ready, so he was nice and easy. Moving into Cavern, really not a hard map at all. It's scary, but it's not hard, right? The threat of the map is a lot more tense than the map itself actually is. That said, Arbiters and Demons can be a little annoying, but you can get through it as long as you have the damage, and with that gastronomy boost and a pretty decent scroll count at this point, I'm just rolling through. I was going back and forth on which boss I wanted to fight here, going into like later in the run between Scarecrow and Giant. This build does fine against Giant, even if it doesn't seem like it would. Like, it actually kills him. You can just overwhelm Giant so quickly because his hands just don't have a lot of HP. But I do end up you'll see later on going towards Scarecrow, and it is, it really is, like, I thought to myself, I'm like, well, Scarecrow's really weak to crowd control, and I already have Ice Shards and Boy's Axe, and I believe I see a, stun grenade that I end up taking into Scarecrow, so it really just all lined up. I was like, might as well just, CC him down, and he can't really do much about it in that case. Other than that, just sprinting through, trying to move fairly fast through the early stages of the biome, that way gastronomy can, I can really take advantage of the gastronomy boosts. And then once I get later in, I have that gastronomy boost going into Scarecrow, and like I said, the stun grenade. Now, Scarecrow does hit through ice armor, so I actually decided to use it a bit like an ice grenade, you'll see here, where I just used it as another stun. After a couple of seconds, I decided to freeze him with the ice armor instantly. And that really allowed me to take the fight and go through it quickly, get the no-hit. Not too bad. I think I show off the item I get here. I believe it is a ferryman's lantern, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I was like, pretty easy. I decided I was going to not route towards Hand of the King. One, I didn't really want to fight that route. I wanted to be done with the run. But the other side of it was that the servants and queen are both just super susceptible to CC as well, which is really where like this build shines, is just the constant slow plus root plus stun. So yeah, I decided to pass on the Ferryman's Lantern and go straight into Infested Shipwreck. This is a pretty fun map. I really enjoy it. It has it's very similar to Graveyard, where it has a lot of squishy enemies. That said, they're a little bit bulkier and do a little bit more damage, so it's still a very scary map. Upcoming is actually that little clip that I showed at the start of the video. Let me know if you like that or not. I kind of like having the little highlight of what the build can really do, of it just destroying a room, basically. And here it is right here, but it's like, actually, no, I think it's coming up right after this. Yeah. But yeah, it's like, I kind of like having that at the start of the video, just to kind of give you an idea of, what the strength of the build is and what you're looking for. Really fun, though. Other than that, pretty easy. I just kind of, as you can see, I'm holding down left trigger and X and just sprinting through the room. The tight corridors really help for Boy's Axe and Ice Shard as well. On this map, this is kind of like a mix between Ossuary with the kind of stronger enemies in long hallways, and Graveyard where they're still a little squishy. Going into the Lighthouse, I decided I wanted to be really greedy and go for gastronomy into the boss fight, because I figured I could beat this even if I had to use a health pot, and I had all 4 of them still, so I was like, I want to go into Queen with 3 gastronomy boosts since you get the food in this map. I kite the boss up there and just kill him quickly with the stun grenade. I did switch my, Ice Shard's not able to break the, wood there. Pretty funny. I switched my ice armor out for a tonic, just so I could, have the, just like, insane amount of utility that tonic brings, and just help with that burst down even more. After that, though, just a quick and easy stun grenade to kill the boss, and it goes back up, and, already a third of the way through Lighthouse. Not too bad. This room, pretty easy. Same thing, stun him. And here we go. I'm going to I've decided, with this one, to not force the kill. Obviously, I get some good damage off here, but not force the kill. Try to just see if I can line them up, because this phase in particular, I don't know, it's a pretty hard one for me to get the guaranteed kill in the Lighthouse itself. So I'm like, I keep an eye out, see if they hop within my range. If not, it's not a huge deal, because the next phase inside the room itself, not that hard. So yeah, I get up there, nice and easy, grab that and get my gastronomy boost, and here we are into the second phase of them, and I'm gonna rush them real quick and try to get them killed with the stun grenade. And, decent result. Didn't quite get the kill there, but almost. Roll behind that, and we are on to the final section of Lighthouse, and this is where I try to, be a little greedy and kill both of them at the same time. Is usually kind of my, mentality going into this. I had the room set up, I just didn't get the dodge roll right when I need, so they end up tagging me, lose the no-hit, but not too bad, right? And finally, we're on to The third one, this one is honestly, in my opinion, the easiest of the three. Not too bad at all. They always teleport right at you, so you can just kill them quick. But the good news is that, not a lot of damage taken, only 10% so far, and plenty of health potions if we need. So I go up here and am going to get a final gastronomy boost, which will go really great into the queen fight just here in a second. I probably could have cut this part out, but it's whatever. But yeah, get that, and am able to go into the final room, and with 3 gastronomy boosts and all of this, just quick damage between kill rhythm and Heart of Ice, constantly proccing the stun grenade, they're gonna go down all very, very quickly and easily. Last one is always the bow one. Usually, I'm not always, but if you can burst down the 2, it's always gonna be the bow one, so it's not that hard. So easy fight against the Lighthouse, and we're going to go into the final section. You're gonna see I lose a lot of my money here between maps. It's because I end up fishing for poisons the enemy on my stun grenade to buff up my ice shards and my boy's axe a ton. I also end up using a potion just to make sure I'm at full HP, just in case. I was like, I have 4 potions, might as well just start out on a good moment here. So I'm going to quickly heal up and show off the build. Poisons the enemy and bonus to poison on both of them. So it's like, it's exactly what you need. They also, ice shards had bonus to root. And with all the gastronomy boosts, Queen is actually going to go down pretty much instantly, because I can just stun her with the stun grenade and end the fight in about 7 seconds. So that was the run. Pretty easy. I know I cut out a lot. I'm trying to determine the amount of dead air to talk in. So let me know how you feel about, the 16 or closer to the 30-minute range is kind of my comfort zone. But let me know how you feel about that. Thank you for watching. Like I said, it was a really, really fun build. This is just always my comfort build of just spamming those ice shards and boy's axe over and over, and makes the run super easy. Like I said, the only real scary part was Arboretum, because I didn't use a potion. And a couple of curses were a little scary. I think there's a slasher early on. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see everyone in the next one. Bye-bye.